Hey guys, how's it going? I recently bought a new camera, the Lumix S5 with the 20 to 60mm kit lens, and I'm shooting that with that right now in 20mm at f3.5 in 4K 10-bit 420 and 25 frames a second. So let me know how the footage is, how you like it, how the autofocus is, and let's get on with the video. So let's get into the reasons why I bought this camera. I wanted a camera that could do no limit recording, and can also have some decent, internal codecs with dual card slots. Why I didn't go for this A7C, even though it has unlimited recording, is because it's only one card slot and there's no internal 10-bit 422 files. And when I use my Canon R6 for weddings, it's just too much data. Like it's very, very data intensive. So then when you're saving all these files to your SD card or to the Adamas Ninja V when you're doing ProRes, it just fills up too quickly. And when you're editing on the software and Final Cut Pro, it just takes too long to load. So I'm not using Canon R6 for long videos anymore, only for like shoots that are very, very short or with the final output of only a 1-minute video. If not, the output and the process is just too straining. And then there's the A7S III. Well, that's a very expensive camera, 2 to 3 times the price of the Lumix S5. So the price of like 2 Lumix S5s and a lens is the same price as one Sony A7S Mark III. So why I got this camera is I want to test it, in the city before I test it out for weddings, how I like the internal 10-bit 422 and all that type of stuff. So I recorded 3 types of scenes just to see what type of scenes do I want to use for weddings, for any type of commercial shoots, like what recording mode should I be in. Normally when I'm shooting on this A7 Mark III, I'm on the 4K 60 megabytes per second and 25 frames per second, and that's pretty good, 60 megabytes per second is easy. It doesn't really take up that much storage in your SD card, and you can record for so long, like the whole day, and it still doesn't fill your 128 gig card. Very, very good. So the recording modes on the Lumix S5, I'm testing 3 modes. First mode is in movie mode, which is 4K, full frame, 10-bit, 422 in 25 frames a second, and I think that's recording in 150 megabytes per second, which is 2.5 times the Sony A7 Mark III. The other 2 modes is in MP4 mode, so like a lesser quality version, but it still can record in 4K full frame mode, 10-bit 420 in 25 frames a second, and the third one is in 4K 50 or 60. In this case in Australia, I'm doing 50p, so 4K crop sensor, 50 frames a second in 10-bit 420. So I did this test on a variety of reasons. One is test the data and the quality. The first mode is running at 150 megabytes per second. Second one is running at 70 megabytes a second, and the third one, the crop 50 frames a second, is running at 100 megabytes a second. So for me to choose 150 megabytes per second, it'd have to be really, really, really good quality, right? It'd have to completely, I could see a clear difference between that and the other 2 modes. And why I recorded number 3 is just to see how the crop sensor reacts in 4K 50 frames a second, and see if I can use that as usable footage, because it doesn't have 4K 50 or 4K 60 in full frame mode, but in crop sensor. And yes, I showed you these footages. What do you guys think? A final thought I had is that after looking at the APC, it's a big difference, isn't it? Like when you're recording in 20mm and you swap to the APC format, that 20mm becomes a 30mm, and there is a big difference in terms of field of view and what you can actually see in the frame, in the picture, which is very interesting. Just like when I was shooting in 60 mils on a full frame, then you swap to APC and that becomes 90mm, and you can, I guess, zoom in a lot more, or you lose so much of the frame depending on how you see it. Anyway, this test has been really great for me. I'm definitely using the 10-bit 420 from now on. No need to use the 10-bit 422. And hope that helps. And enjoy the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care.